Miyamura Izumi is one of the main protagonists of the Horimiya series, alongside Kippo Hori. He is a student in Class 3-1 of Katagiri Senior High School. Initially at school, Izumi gives off the impression of a quiet, gloomy, antisocial person. His classmates' perception of him is that he is an otaku with good studying capabilities, but a hard person to approach and maintain a conversation with. Izumi was noticeably shy and struggled to interact with others when he was a child up to his time junior high, resulting in him being frequently ostracized and bullied, especially by Makio Tanihara and his friend group, as his peers considered him a dreary and distant individual. This treatment caused Izumi to adopt a pessimistic nature, and he would give himself piercings with a safety pin whenever he felt school was giving him a difficult time. During this time, it was implied that he also contemplated suicide. However, one day, Izumi met Koichi Shindo, who was, at the time, friends with Makio. Koichi treated Izumi much better than their other classmates, and the two became good friends, even with Makio's attempt at interference, and they kept in touch despite going to separate high schools. The two are close enough that Izumi changes his personality into a violent and foul-mouthed temper towards Koichi, a complete 180 compared to his usual demeanor. Izumi credits Koichi for his positive change in personality between junior high and high school. Between the beginning of high school to his third year, Izumi still retains a dark aura that his classmates consistently point out. However, he himself is less pessimistic, likely due to Koichi's influence, and a younger Kippo points out that Izumi isn't as gloomy as others make him out to be after the two pair up for a project. When Izumi and Kippo meet each other's hidden sides for the first time, Izumi has a friendly and laid-back attitude, a trait Kippo hadn't anticipated. When Kippo doesn't make an effort to avoid him the next day at school and explains her reasoning, Izumi is noticeably happy about her actions. Izumi is also quite laid back towards his studies, and goes along with the belief that everything is fine, as long as he is able to graduate, resulting in him doing poorly on tests and assignments. Although he has a tendency to mispronounce certain Japanese words, Izumi is quite good at tongue twisters. Upon interacting with more of his classmates, Izumi is shown to be a good friend and a caring person, that often goes out of his way to help others, especially towards Kippo and Suda. After realizing the hard work Kippo put into maintaining her home and taking care of her brother, he has violent tendencies when his friends are involved in argumentative affairs, and may resort to physical attacks if he deems them necessary. At times, Izumi can be rather dense and impulsive, which is likely the reason behind why he got his tattoos that force him to dress in layers and take extreme measures so as to not reveal them to others at school. Although he is careful to hide his secret, there are close calls that result from Izumi's dense nature. Outside of school, he has the freedom to show off his piercings and tattoos, and has no trouble displaying them. He appears to have very low self-esteem and is very awkward when talking to people he's not close with, often saying he can't connect well with others. He worries that it would be embarrassing for Kippo to be seen with him. Miyamura hates drawing any sort of unnecessary attention towards himself, preferring to be treated as invisible in class. However, because he feels that Hori is being made fun of for dating him because of how he looks, which leads him to cut his hair, and also stopped him from wearing glasses to school. This causes a lot of girls to start approaching him and commenting on how good looking he is, even flirting with him and snapping pictures of him with their phones, much to Kippo's annoyance. He is very afraid of anything related to horror or gore, but usually watches horror movies because Hori enjoys them. It is unknown if he is a sadist or a masochist. However, he often hits Shindo and aims sharp remarks towards him, especially regarding the fact that Shindo had to repeat a grade due to poor attendance. He does not seem to hold any sadistic feelings towards his girlfriend, aside from when he decided to put his foot on her head because he wanted to bully her back for once, as he was the one always getting pushed around. In fact, he has problems treating anyone impolitely or violently except Shindo and occasionally Sawada.